So I'm here today with Johnny. Johnny is founder of OffGrid Trailers.
OffGrid Office and Construction Solutions.
Okay, but these trailers are amazing. I mean, that video you sent me.
Thanks.
These things are sweet.
Yeah.
How'd you even come up with the idea to make these?
Well, as you know, Jack, I'm a builder. You came out to my house. You were going to do a listing for us, and I built that house. And I've been a contractor, electrical contractor, and then I moved over and got my my B2 building license. And then in the process of building, the pain point in the building and construction industry is always temporary power and having some kind of...
Is that on all sites, or does it have to be like a remote site for that to be kind of a pain point?
That's a pain point for any contractor.
Really?
Because if you just look around when you're doing a McDonald's or a 7-Eleven or Albertsons, you see those command centers, office trailers for the superintendents to basically be able to just direct personnel, receive information, internet. It's just a communication hub.
How are those powered now?
So typically what happens is you have two situations. You can either get a 15 kW diesel generator, which is going to cost you probably about $1,000 to $1,300 a month just for the generator. And then you're going to have to pay for fuel. So I like to call it 5 and 6. So you're going to burn about 5 gallons a day, $6 a gallon. It's about $30 a day, $900 a month if you're running 30 days. So the cost impact just for temporary power is pretty substantial. Then your other option is to tie directly into the grid, so you can hire an electrical company, set a couple of power poles.
Is that what they call temporary power?
Temporary power, yeah. So that'll cost you about $15,000 to get that established, just to be able to do a project like that.
What do most contractors do when they start a build?
Either solution A or B. It just depends on the size of the contractor. So if you're going to go with a genset, that's you either already have a generator yourself, or you plans to rent one, or you're going to have to schedule 6 months.
Are those generators pricey?
Yeah, to rent, you're talking about $1,200 a month to rent something like that.
Do some of these contractors own these generators?
Some of them do.
How much are they to buy?
Oh, you're probably talking $10,000-$20,000 to buy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the power requirement to run a job is pretty substantial, because you're probably going to run. It's hot.
Does that make a difference?
Well, you got to run the air conditioner. You got a superintendent coming in and out of the office. You got to run the air conditioner and power tools.
I was going to ask you that question. I didn't want to sound like it was a dumb question, but they're running tools off this too?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So everything's plugging in?
Yeah, you can plug your jackhammer into it, set a couple of power poles, go downstream, set a small spider box, do all your temporary power for your subs. It's designed to be able to fully support a job site.
What pulls the most power? Is it running the AC or
it's the
AC. Equipment? Or?
Yeah, your air conditioning. It doesn't take a lot of power to charge your batteries and tools and things like that. But if you've got a superintendent in the office, 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, in a metal box, in Las Vegas, 120 degrees, that air conditioner is going to be running. Yeah, absolutely. So
you saw this going on. You then thought of creating these trailers?
Well, that was kind of part of it. Maybe you remember I owned a solar company for 10 years. And so solar has always been kind of my bread and butter, and where I really have my knowledge base. And then that combined with the new battery technology that they got out here, and the cost decreases for battery technology made it more available for me to be able to put something like this together.
That's awesome. I have a listing right now in Kyle Canyon. We had the owner here a couple weeks ago, and it's over 10 acres. But to see his battery packs in the garage was incredible, because you typically don't see that too much in homes. You see the solar. I deal with it a lot in real estate, but you don't see the battery packs. Is that kind of similar to what you have in the trailer?
So that's exactly what I have in my trailers. So I typically run about 40 kW, which is enough to basically to run a medium-sized home.
Do you ever see those yellow books for dummies? Like it's called like iPhone for dummies or MacBook for dummies. You got to talk to me like I'm that yellow book right now, because that's some advanced, I guess, kilowatts and different things. Because I deal with a lot of these contracts in the real estate business where somebody buys a property and there's solar.
Okay.
If they bought the solar, no big deal. We transfer it over. It's easy. But if they're leasing it, financing makes my job really tough to make sure, because a lot of times they don't just have to qualify for the house. They have to qualify for the solar loan. Yeah. So reading those contracts and seeing that, I think this is going to help me a lot understand what that power usage is that you're getting out of it.
So let me give you an example. So let's say you have a 4-ton air conditioning unit.
Okay.
Right? You're familiar with that?
Yeah.
So that 4-ton air conditioning unit, when it's running, just the AC is probably going to pull between 15 to 2,000 watts per hour. So everything is going to be per hour. So if you have 2 of those units running simultaneously, we're talking 4 kW per hour. So that'd be the base, right?
Would it matter the how many SEERs, or maybe this unit's 20 years old?
Doesn't matter.
Pulling more?
Well, it could be more or less, but we'll just use that as the baseline. Okay. If we just go with the typical 16, 17 SEER 4-ton air conditioner, we're talking at 240 volts, we're talking 15 to 2,000 watts per hour. So let's say you have a solar system that is a 15K solar system. So that means that solar system has the ability, well, I'll make it more common. Okay. We won't go 15, we'll go 10 kW. So let's say your solar system is a 10 kW solar system, right? Your air conditioning is 2 kW of usage per hour. If you have 2 16 SEER units, that's going to pull 4 kW. Okay. So if your solar system has the ability to generate 10 kW per hour, then
we got that covered.
You got a 6 kW
for everything else.
For everything else. But remember, you're here in Vegas, we're talking 6 hours of sunlight. Your air conditioner is going to be running all day long. So if your air conditioner is running all day long here in Vegas, we'll just take the middle and just say 3 kW, and we'll just multiply that by like 12 hours. So we'll just say 3 times 12, that's 36 kW of energy consumed by the homeowner.
I feel smarter just sitting next to you right now. That's deep. So what happens at night when there's no sun?
Well, if you don't have batteries, then the solar would have so the goal is the solar to produce more. So
it can make up at night?
So it can make it up for it at night.
Oh, it makes sense.
Exactly. So here, especially in the summertime, you're getting 10 hours of sunlight for sure. You start at, 6 o'clock, and then it's not going down till 6. You're not losing any usable solar power till probably 6 p.m. So the whole goal would be able to capture all of that production during those hours, which is probably going to be 40 to 50 kW
to make up for the night.
night.
So if you're on a construction site, you have the panels on the trailer.
Correct.
What are the batteries for if nobody's there at night? Or
the batteries are, think of it like a swimming pool.
Okay.
All right. And so the air conditioner, remember we're in a metal box.
Right.
So the air conditioner is consuming that power on a steady pace, and it's drawing everything out. Now the solar panels have the ability to offset the air conditioner in totality, but let's say we have cloudy days. Let's say we have rainy days.
You got to make up for that.
We got to make up for that. Let's say it's wintertime and we're only getting 4 hours of sunlight a day and it's cold. Now we're running the heater instead of the air conditioner, right? And we have to make up for those losses throughout the day.
Yeah, so and you had quite a bit of batteries in there, so you're prepared.
Oh yeah, we're prepared. Yeah, we're in our infancy right now. This is year 1 for us, so we got plans to do double wides trailers that will give us maybe like 60 or 70 kW that will be able to do super large projects like grocery stores, full apartment complexes and things like this. The ones that I'm doing right now are typically for we're doing a school remodel for with this company called Roche Construction.
Okay.
At Sky Point right now. So they just rented a trailer. We've done some work with Alston Construction.
So if it's a remodel, it's established already, you still need the power?
Well, so the owner may not want you tapping into their power grid.
That makes sense.
So it may be our main projects that we're doing we're doing ground up, but it's a unit that's designed to be ground up construction, remodel,
either one,
whatever. Like I said, not everybody wants you tapping into their power systems. When you bid a job and you take on that project, the owner of the property is not didn't include your power consumption in that project.
So that could cause things to trip.
Yeah.
Or
I mean,
give them issues with.
Yeah, if you're working on something, so they want you to be completely separate on your own, doing your own thing, especially with the school district.
Let's paint the picture for people, because I think people will think that these are just trailers to get power.
Mm-hmm.
These have workstations?
So each trailer is it's like a command center. So they're really not even just for construction. So it's construction and office, but I imagine them even being able to be something that could be used for FEMA or the police. So it's got
an office inside?
Yeah, it's got a full office
and
inside.
A restroom?
And a restroom, yes. Yeah.
Because I think people are just picturing just like for power, but you actually can work here.
It's completely built out. It's double insulated, so the walls are 3 to 4 inches thick.
Oh, wow.
And the whole goal with that is, like, when you think of like a regular trailer that, like, your trailer that you get that you stay all night over.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, those walls are only 1.5 inches thick.
Oh, wow.
So the heat and the weather penetrates those walls so easily because there's no R value in those trailers. So we build our trailers first with the highest R value that we can, for the specific reason to be able to minimize the draw on the air conditioner, because that's our biggest load. So the goal is to properly insulate the trailer, keep the trailer as well.
So is that similar to like insulation in a house to make sure that
so
it's
typical
energy
house
efficient?
Exactly. So that's the same thing. We want our trailer to be as energy efficient as possible to take the burden off the air conditioner.
And they're getting internet there and everything?
Comes with Starlink, yeah. Because
we thought of everything.
Well, we got to monitor the solar system, so we're monitoring the solar system to and monitoring the batteries in real time to get ahead of any potential problems. The last thing we need is one of our vendors or construction project managers on a project with 20 or 30 guys and they don't have no power.
So you would know something's going on?
We would know. So the whole goal is to get ahead of anything. So since we have Starlink on board anyways, the trailers, it's just a courtesy. If you got documents that you got to send, it's there. So just, handle your business.
So what do they do for maintenance on the trailer? Is there anything associated with somebody who rents it? Is it typical, couple months, 6 months? How long does
the typical construction project is a 6 to 12 months project. Okay. So we do the maintenance, but there really isn't any maintenance. So the trailers come with a black water tank, which you would pick up an outside vendor to come dump your tanks. We don't do that. But we just come and check the batteries, make sure that everything is working properly, check on the panels, make sure they're not filled with dirt. It's construction, so you got dust everywhere. So if we need to clean the panels to make sure we maintain that production, then we come out and take care of those type of things.
How is this different than travel trailers that people travel in and sleep in power-wise?
Well, typically with a traveler trailer, you can just plug right into a 50 amp outlet wherever you're parked, right?
But if they're going out somewhere remote?
Well, then you'd have to use a generator typically on a remote. Now, there are people that are building their own off-grid setups, and, it's pretty impressive what you see on YouTube these days.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't gone down that rabbit hole yet, but this is all new to me, so it's pretty cool that you can just put this in the middle of nowhere.
And get your job going.
Internet, power, bathroom.
Everything. Wow. Yeah. And you know what? I'll tell you, people are just so fed up with the utilities anyways. True story. You know, that house that I built that you were going to sell for me.
It was gorgeous.
Thank you for that.
It is gorgeous.
Thank you. So when we finished that house sat 6 months with no power tied into it. Just because the burden of getting connected with NV Energy is you have to jump so many hoops. So when you're starting a project, you have to go through a whole permitting phase, and they'll get to you when they get to you. So if you have let's say you have a project that starts in 30 days. You just got the bid. Project starts in 30 days. Now you got to go through this permitting cycle and get NV Energy to tie temporary power into your new development or your new project. But they may not be able to get you on their timetable. So that timetable might be two months or 3 months out. Your project starts in 30 days. Now you're starting that project already behind because you don't have power. So that would force you into
a solution.
Absolutely. But that would force you into a generator situation where if you didn't budget the generator properly, now you're caught. Now that's going to impede your project costs. It's all about, proper mobilization,
Could you have run the house off this trailer if you had this at that time?
Yeah. Wisely. I mean, I would have to monitor my loads because basically, my house is 4,000 square feet. So that's these trailers are only about 600 square feet total. So there's a big difference.
I'm telling you, I'm smarter every time I'm around you. When we came to your house, you had this device that was moving the trailer with remote control. I was like, am I in the future right now? I've never seen one of these things.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Jack.
Yeah, I mean, you're always doing something fun. I think at that time you were doing stuff with, was it the electric skateboards? Or?
Yeah, so it's funny that you got to that. So the skateboards were really the catapult for this trailer business. Yeah, because we needed to charge the skateboards when we were out riding. So my first trailer build was for the skateboards. So the skateboards was just kind of like my fun business, but I had a friend who was building a house, and the temporary power company that quoted him some temporary power, and it was like $15,000. They couldn't even get to him in 30 days, and he's trying to turn his house over. So I dropped the skateboard trailer off at his house so he could use that while he was doing the construction.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. And so he was like, man, that was the most awesome, I bailed him out. He was like, that was the most awesome thing that I could have done for him.
Tell people about this skateboarding thing, because you showed me videos. That was awesome.
Yeah, so the skateboarding company is Las Vegas E-Board Tours, and so we don't do so much of that. It's like I said, it's just my fun business.
Yeah.
And we take people out and just ride the wetlands or ride Red Rock and ride the Strip downtown. So it's just a fun business where I get to connect, like you.
Can people still do it?
I mean, I'm just so busy these days.
You'd have to, almost like the power company. We'll get to you in 6 months.
Yeah, we'll get to you.
We're taking reservations right now for February.
Yeah. And it's so hot right now.
Yeah.
So it's that's a fun business, like right around spring and fall,
to
dive back into that. I still got some guys that I ride with we just got back from a ride up Mount Charleston maybe 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Oh, it's beautiful up there.
So what was the issue? You guys would ride and then the battery would die and you needed somewhere to charge it?
Yeah, you ride. So we wouldn't just ride here in Vegas. So we would go to California and ride the coast. So we might ride 15, 20 miles up the coast.
Oh, wow.
And then by the time you ride all that out, your battery's done. So you need to be able to recharge, be able to get back.
Grab some lunch, charge it, and then go again.
Grab some lunch, charge. We drop them, set them up inside the trailer, let them charge, be right back ready to ride the next day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You mentioned the temporary power. So I have a client right now who's building, and when they drop that temporary power, do you still need to run that to where you're building, like if it's in the middle of the lot?
So typically they'll coordinate that with their electrical contractors. Okay. So they'll probably set up a small 125 amp service panel. They'll bring in that temporary feed that service panel, and then feed the rest of the house. It just depends on how large that load is for their home.
But if they do that instead of getting one of your amazing trailers, they still have to pay for a trailer, right?
Well, if they're going to use a trailer as a command center for that project. So what we do
Because doesn't that take out both of them?
Well, it does.
Instead of getting a trailer, temporary, now you're all in one?
Yeah, you're all in one in a situation like that. But most small projects like that is probably you would really use a trailer for something like that. You're mostly going to use trailers for, let's say you're building a McDonald's or gas station, or you're doing
maybe a subdivision for houses.
Subdivision for houses, things like that. You know, when I built my the homes that I built, I did have a trailer, but it was just like a little RV trailer, situation for us to sit with the inspector, go over a couple little things. You know, it wasn't like a big command center type, and I never needed it for that. But when you're doing like real construction, you need to be able to communicate with your guys.
That would be cool if eventually you can get into something for people who are building their house where they could stay while it's being built.
Oh, that would be pretty awesome. Yeah, maybe we'll work on that for the future.
Yeah, because I don't know. I mean, I see a lot of my clients who are building, like, they're there a lot. They want to see what's going on. And some of them, you get travel trailers or different things that they can stay
That's funny as you say that. I remember my first experience, what he actually put the building bug in me. My dad built his house.
Really?
Yeah.
Here in town?
Here in town. I'm native. Yeah.
You were born and raised?
I'm born and raised here. Yeah. So
there's only like 3 of you. My wife's actually one of them, so I know the 2 people who were born and raised here.
Yeah, born and raised here.
So where was the house he built?
So he built a house off of Cheyenne and Simmons when there was absolutely nothing. That was 50 years ago. So there was nothing out there. We were like it was just dirt. And me, my mom, my brother and sister, my dad, had a single wide trailer that we lived in while he was doing the construction, and he built his first house.
Was he a contractor, or? My
dad was just a handyman carpenter. He went to college, learned carpentry. He could build my dad could build anything.
Did you help?
I mean, I was probably maybe 7 or 8 at the time.
Oh, right. So you were playing with stuff instead of...
He'd ask me for a screwdriver, and I'd bring him a wrench.
Yeah. That's such a cool story. Is it different to live in a house that you built?
Absolutely. I think there's nothing like it. Until you've actually done it, there's just nothing like it. It's your thoughts, your plans, your concepts, and your mistakes too, right? Mm-hmm. So not every house is perfect, but at the end of the day, it's an expression of you.
When we walked your property, and it took a minute. It's a big lot, and It was incredible. CETA, everything was incredible, but you were able to break down every single thing in that property to me.
Yeah.
And when you walk around with homeowners, maybe they live there 3 years, 5 years, whatever it is, and they can explain different things, but you could literally tell me everything about the property.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of passion and love in that project. Yeah, and it was my first time building something like that, and it was when we built it. I mean, I can't even tell you how afraid I was to even step into that because of my, I've been an electrical contractor, but I'm not a builder. I wasn't then. And then my dad was like, "It's simple, son. It's so easy. You'll be fine." And I just remember him saying, "All you got to do is just get out the ground."
And that helps because most times people will tell you, "Oh, that's a big."
Oh yeah.
And that makes it worse. But when you got somebody encouraging you.
Yeah, Dad was just like, "All you got to do is just get out the ground. Once you get out the ground, it'll happen."
Was he right?
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
I tell my friends now, I've got 3 or 4 friends that I've helped build homes now, and I just tell them, calm down, relax. All we got to do is just get out the ground. Just break ground. Let's get the concrete in. Let's get the plumbing right. Let's get our electrical in. And once we get that, those phases done, man, the house just seems to take form.
Yeah, that's awesome. Utilities are tough though.
I've seen
some people who build, I don't know if this is right or wrong, but start worrying about the utilities afterwards and then get stuck.
They get jammed up.
Next thing you find out that you could be 150, 200,000 in. Yeah. And like you mentioned before, if you didn't budget for that,
you're in the hole.
Yeah, that could be.
And I tell people, when you're trying to build in Vegas, and Vegas is a beautiful place to build. And what happens is, a lot of contractors, and this is kind of off the trailer business, but what happens is a lot of contractors, they come in, they build these subdivisions, and they only build them to maybe 70, 80% because they're building them, they're selling them as they go, right? And then they've got a limited amount of manpower, and then they got another job that's getting ready to start across town. So they're losing money by keeping this manpower over there. So then they make this shift, take all their manpower, move it over there. Then you have 3 or 4 lots that never get developed. But the beauty of it is, all of that electrical and all of that water.
It's close by?
Well, it's already piped.
Oh,
because,
wow.
When they're doing a subdivision, you see when they break the ground, they break everything.
So they got to do the whole thing.
Yeah, so they've already done all that.
Because otherwise you're probably spending more money having to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So all that work has already been done by the main contractor, and those lots they just left behind. There's lots like that all around town.
So we're blessed that we can get to things closer.
Absolutely. So if you're looking to build, that's what you want to find. You want to find one of these subdivisions where they only built 70, 80%. Mm-hmm. All the infrastructure is going to be there. And then think about that. So let's say you pick up a lot that's maybe $150,000, $200,000, right? Mm-hmm. And $50,000 to $60,000 of it would have been for some of the electrical infrastructure. Another maybe $50,000 for sewage and water would have been in. So that's $110,000 right there. Then if you got to get gas to it, that's probably another $25,000. Yeah. And then just for that water meter that the city gives you, that's $25,000 just for the meter. So just in those costs, you save like $150,000. So if you're picking up a lot for $150,000, $200,000, you just paid for all of that infrastructure and you get the land.
As long as you do that due diligence, because I have people reaching out who are interested in a lot. I want to build. I'm like, maybe we should find you a house that you can renovate, because if there's not utilities,
we're
a couple hundred before you even
break ground,
do anything. So the lot was 200, utilities we're 400, and
you haven't even scratched the surface. Yeah. You're upside down, and now you're trying to sell it and get out of it because you didn't even realize what you.
And soil matters too, right?
Oh my God! So I'll tell you this. So I when I first did my house, and I really didn't know a whole lot about that stuff, and so I had my geotech come out, and so we had to over excavate 4 feet. So I mean, that was a half an acre. So we had to dig up, 4 foot of dirt. I looked like it's just a big mountain all around my property, and
that changes the budget.
Oh my God! And we had to put that dirt back, 12 inches at a time, compact it as we go, and put water in it and everything like that. That's the problem that they're having up in Lake Las Vegas, because they didn't properly put that dirt back, and a lot of those homes are unsettled.
Yeah, I have a client who was interested in some land in Henderson, and they didn't do that. So now when you look at the lot, I think their cost was about $100,000 to make it right.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of surprises. But what got you into construction? I mean, building that house at 6'7", was that kind of what got you in?
Man, I'll tell you, that was the catalyst.
Okay.
Once you do it one time and you argue with your wife over colors of cabinets and drapes and all those type of things. Once you go through that process one time, it just opens something up into your creative, gene that just tells you, you can do it. You can do it. And so, I mean, I love it, man. I was a union, well, I still am, but a union electrician for 30 years.
Oh, wow.
And I don't equate anything to building right now. It's the most powerful thing that I do.
There's different levels to the electrician, right?
There, absolutely. Absolutely different levels. Yeah. My son is an apprentice right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's learning right now.
Smart to get him into that right now. These data centers.
I mean, he's in a data center. I don't even give my kids any choices. I'm like, this is what you're going to do. They hate me for it, but they'll love me later.
They're going to love you later, because those are going to be those jobs that are just paying.
Yeah, especially with AI and everything like that. And it's a reverse. So AI is hurting people and helping people at the same time. You know? So there's a lot of jobs opening up.
How much power does it take to run one of those?
What, a data center?
Yeah.
Oh my God, we're talking, Jesus. So I'm just gonna give you just kind of like a little bit of an idea. So you saw the batteries that I have in the trailer.
Yes.
So on my largest trailer, I have 8 of those 5 kW batteries. So that's 40 kW. So on one floor of a data center, they have 1,200 of those batteries. On one floor, there's multiple floors. So you have 4
and what's
floors.
charging those?
So they're being fed from medium voltage lines coming in from the grid. And it's only there in the event of power outage.
So that can keep running.
Yeah, we're just basically building Skynet over there.
That's wild. So why do they talk about using so much water? How is that involved?
Because the cooling factor, because the servers get so hot, right? So imagine you got a server rack that's probably pushing off about maybe 1,500 to 2,000 watts, right? I don't know if you ever felt like a 2,000 watt lamp or a 500 watt lamp. You ever felt that?
It's
the heat
hot.
that comes off of it, right? So just imagine, a couple thousand server racks giving off 500 watts, in a big room, right?
Yeah.
So now you have these massive air conditioning units that are used to keep those rooms cool, right? So those are going into tapping into water resources and things like that to try to bring those temperatures down. So I think that's where a lot of your water usage is being consumed at.
So where is your son at? Here in town, or where are the?
Well, actually, he just got back from Reno, so we were.
Is there a lot of data centers in Reno?
Yeah, there's a ton of work going on in Reno. It's crazy out there. Yeah.
Is it just the land that they have to do it, or is it just more accepted out there?
It's more accepted, and there's not as many people, right? Mm-hmm. And so, and it's not like in the heart of Reno. It's kind of more on the outskirts.
Okay.
So they've got billions and billions of dollars of data center work going on over there.
Do they need some off-grid trailers? I know where they can.
Hey, at some point in time they will. At some point, I actually had a trailer at the Switch.
Did you?
Yeah, a data center in Reno. So I actually just pulled that trailer back. Work is picking up so crazy here. It's we've got data centers coming to Vegas.
Is that what that is in the Southwest, off the freeway, the 215
Well,
switch?
from what I understand, they've got like 3 data centers coming in. They've got one that they're fighting over in Henderson, but it looks like that one's being moved over some BLM land. Mm-hmm. I don't know everything about that, but that's kind of going on. They got Apex. They got that solar plant that they're putting on in Apex, and I think they want to put a data center there. And I think they want to put another one north Las Vegas. So these are just my feelers. I'm hearing, so the people don't want them, and rightfully so. I mean, we want to keep that stuff as far away from, people as possible. I think there's a lot of stuff going on with data centers and people's health and things like that. Yeah. So we want to protect the people. But at the end of the day, our society are such consumers, right? And so
for every action, there's a reaction. We love this AI,
absolutely,
but it's
absolutely
takes something to run it.
Takes something to run it. So it's all a give and take.
How's your prototype from that first trailer you built to what you have now?
Oh my God.
Is it the same?
I've learned so much.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. So, just first of all, just the quality of it is so much better, and then the ability to build them faster. Like a lot of stuff I'm doing now, I'm prefabbing, and so that's helping me out a lot. That experience that I had the ability to take that trailer out to Reno, that was a really good experience because, we don't get cold here like they get cold in Reno. So when we were down in Reno, I mean, it was like 15 degrees.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely. And so,
so you didn't take that into account because we don't get
Well,
that
it was a learning process.
Yeah.
I mean, that trailer, they had a snow come in, and that trailer was buried under 2 foot of snow. But the panels still produced. The batteries never got below 60%.
Really?
Absolutely.
So how long did it last for? Can we get 3-4 days out of it?
No, it lasted a whole week with they never had a single problem.
Wow.
Yeah. So that just was kind of like a learning lesson to me. So what happened was, even though the panels were buried under the snow, the reflectivity of the snow and the white and all that kind of stuff still produced under the snow and kept the panels at 60%.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
You have one of these at the house, right? Because if things pop off, I'm coming over.
Yeah, you're welcome to come over.
We're good for at least a week or two.
No, so these trailers, man, they run independent. I've got trailers that have, since I turned them on, I've never turned them off. That's been months ago.
Really?
Oh, they don't. Once you turn them on, once they come alive.
That's it?
That's it. Yeah, there is no turning them off. I've got trailers that the air conditioner runs every single day. It's been running for this whole summer. I've never done anything. Go in there and check on them, make sure the temperatures are right.
That's incredible.
Yeah, you turn once it's alive, It's alive. It's like Frankenstein.
You're gonna have people reaching out to you who just want to be like off grid.
Well, I got people that want to just do off grid right now, but that's not my focus right now. My focus is the construction industry because that's my passion. Right, I know what it's like to needing to start a job and you need temporary power right now. So that's my passion. I do want to get into some private projects where I'll build out some custom trailers for people. Yeah, nice. So I'll do.
You don't have enough time in the day for that.
Man, I'll tell you.
Maybe your son, once you get him going.
I'm trying to get them all trained.
Yeah, get them going. Yeah. Where do you see 10 years from now these generators that were gas run that people are using on jobs? Is that going to be ancient? Or?
No, I think there's always going to be a place for it at the end of the day. Because generators are generators. They're beasts of power.
But is there somebody physically? This is probably a dumb question, but have to go there and fill it up with gas, and it's like, isn't that manpower?
That's manpower. So, like I said, we were talking about 5 and 6, right? So you're talking 5 gallons a day, $6 a gallon, and the cost to go and send somebody to go get gas. So it's a labor too. It's a labor cost. Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even more now with these gas prices.
Oh, my God. You got diesel. Yeah.
So they're running off diesel, right?
Most of them are. A good generator, is going to be a good diesel generator that's going to – because if you get like a little cheapy generator from, Walmart or something like that, they're just not built to last. When I started my first house and I used a small generator, that generator I ran that thing every single day, and it only lasted about a month before it just took a crap on me. Yeah, they're just not built to last like that.
Do you see, unless they already have something like this, where instead of having a gas generator or propane generator or something for homes where they have a generator that's just solar?
Well, they have that.
Even if the house isn't on solar?
It's getting better and better. Like you mentioned, your friend up at Sky Canyon who's got his battery bank, and I didn't see how big his bank was.
It's pretty big.
Yeah, so, battery technology is getting cheaper and cheaper. I'm going to put a battery bank on. I have a generator for my house, propane, but I'm going to put a battery bank on my house as well, probably 60 to 100 kW. So that'll give you enough to be completely off grid for your home. So if I'd have known what I know now back when I was building my house, I would have built it completely off grid.
Really?
Yeah.
But you still need power going to it, or?
Well, they required you to have, but at the end of the day, if you got enough batteries and you got enough solar, you can go out there and flip a switch. And
are they requiring it so they can get some power back, or? Don't answer that. I don't want to get you.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, let's skip that one.
Yeah. Don't pull out the conspiracy theorists to me.
I'll come over for that, and we'll
have
chop it up about that.
A cup of coffee and talk about it.
So. Where do you see these trailers going 5 years from now?
You
said double wide. What else are you kind of envisioning with them?
Really, just the double wide is probably where I'm at right now. I've got that planned for next year. I just finished a 32-footer, so that was pretty labor intensive. I think that was like 240 hours.
You're involved in the build up?
Oh yeah, me and my son, we build these trailers. Really? Yeah, when I get them, it's just a steel shell. There's nothing in it. It's just a steel shell. We cut the windows in them. We insulate them. We fully do all the wiring for it.
How do you know how to do this stuff?
Like I said, I've been in construction my whole life, since my dad was telling me to pass me the screwdriver, know. So it's my passion. It's what I love. My goal, I want to have, at least I want to have 100 trailers at some point in time, And, when I was in the solar industry, business is one and done, and you sell a solar system and that's it. And there's no longevity in business like that. You're always looking for your next customer in that space, and solar has such, there's such a negative. In hindsight, people have such a negative vibe about solar now because so many contractors, bailed out on people,
went out of business,
and went out of business, and really, that's a little bit of everybody's fault because some of the product that was promised to people didn't hold up. Especially under these adverse conditions like we have in Vegas. It's 117 outside, and that inverter sitting on the side of the house is weathering 120, 130 degrees all day on the outside of your house.
Never thought of that, taking a beating.
Yeah, because capacitors dry out. And they lose their ability to charge and discharge, and the inverter goes bad in 2 years. And now that homeowner's calling like, my system's not working, and it's the middle of summer, and they're like, I need a new inverter, and the inverter company is not going to give them an inverter for at least another month or 2 months, and now they got that whole summer bill that they just had to pay, and that wasn't something they expected. And the contractors like, it's not me, you know. And so enough of that happens, and
start getting bad rap.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to people who are buying a house with solar?
Make sure you get the system thoroughly checked out.
Have an inspection on it before.
Have a full inspection by somebody who knows what solar is about, and you know. And even I do some solar inspections on occasion, but you need to have that system. Like, you want to know, what is it currently producing? When was it installed? And even to the point, like, some of these systems, Jack, that are, I would say 5 years or older, because we got some of them out there. What happens is the connections, they get loose from expansion and contraction, so the wires underneath the terminal block. And you got all that heat, and so the wire expands and contracts, and so the screws come loose.
Is that underneath the panel?
So it's either in the junction boxes, typically not underneath the panel, but you'll have a junction box on the roof, right? And so it'll get loose on the roof, and the more heat that's generated inside of there, it'll just, your system either won't work, or in some of these older systems where they had high voltages on the systems, you could create fires, and so there's a lot of mess out there. And so I would definitely recommend anybody that is buying somebody else's solar system.
Sitting next to you.
Yeah, you got to get that thing checked out.
We're going to start making that. Try to make it a requirement. I mean, it's up to the homeowner to do it or not. We do a home inspection on every house.
Yeah, it's
but
just
the
home inspector
on checking the solar.
Yeah, they're not they don't want to. First of all, they don't want to take any liability for anything like that, because they don't even know. And it takes years of experience
to know what you're talking about.
To know what you're looking at. You know what I mean? You can open up a box and say, yeah, it looks good. And everything may look good. But unless you take a screwdriver and check those terminals, you don't even know, you know? And so
it's really not being done out there. So I think that's something that's really needed.
Well, you know, I'll tell you, when solar started here in Vegas, it was like the Wild Wild West, man. It really was.
They were throwing them on roofs that were old that you can't. I mean, there's got to be some sort of requirement to put them on a roof.
And the people that were installing them really weren't. Yeah, some of them were just roofers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they're not like, you know, super technical people. Nothing against roofers, but they're not electrical people. You know what I mean? So some of the installations that were done were just they just weren't that good.
It's wild.
So they just definitely. I'm not saying that, you know, if somebody buys a house and has solar on it, not to buy it. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is
get it checked out.
Just get it checked out.
Just like everything else. We check out the AC. We check out the electrical, plumbing, pool.
A couple $200 or $300 save you thousands.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just worth it. At the end of the day, you just got to do it. Whether it's going to be a roof leak or whether it's going to be a system failure, you just got to get it checked out, man.
That was a valuable lesson.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. We're definitely going to do that, because there's a lot of houses with solar now.
Oh, yeah.
I would say a majority is solar.
And it makes sense here for our valley, you know. I mean, I have solar on my house. My electric bill would probably be $600 a month if I didn't have solar on my house.
At least.
Yeah, and so I don't pay for any electricity. Yeah.
It's just a, $15 connection? Or?
$15 connection, yeah.
That's wild.
And I'll tell you the difference is, you know, I didn't think about it then, but, you know, my wife is a little bit older now, and so she kind of gets heat flashes. And so that air conditioner, when we were younger, you know, we tolerated the 78, but now she's like, I need a 72. You know what I mean? So as we get older, we want to be more comfortable, right?
That's what I'm saying. Your bill would probably be in the 8s right now.
Oh my God, I'd be paying for it. That's for sure.
Well, you said it. You set it up right. We have a lot of people listening who are coming from out of state.
Yeah.
You're the best person to answer this because you've been here your whole life. Sell people on Vegas.
Vegas is, first of all, Vegas is not what the media makes it out to be. There's 5 miles of land that's on the south that is its own island, right? Vegas is full of communities of good people, church-going people, regular people, bartenders, casino hosts and guests and store owners and Applebee's workers and Home Depot workers and, just regular people, right, that are just trying to make a living and trying to raise their family in an area where they don't have to worry about hurricanes or they don't have to worry about crazy windstorms or being rained out or being flooded out or being burned out. So at the end of the day, we're a community of people that just want a place to live with some form of safety and reliability. And the thing about Vegas is that I love is the ability to just do what I want to do almost whenever I want to do it. Nothing really closes down. And then also, even though they talk about our lake and it's drying up and all that, I have a boat out on the lake. I go out to the lake all the time. There's like 600 miles of shoreline. People don't realize that Lake Mead crosses
600 miles?
Yeah. Yeah. It crosses 3 states.
Oh, wow.
So you got to figure it crosses Arizona, Utah, and Nevada, and then trickles down and feeds California and Mexico. So Lake Mead's a huge lake, and there are some really nice places out there to go boating. And then also, Kyle Canyon is beautiful. We go up to the mountains and ride the skateboards in the fall and in the spring, and then go up to the mountains and ski and snowboard. And
you know how to have fun.
Oh man,
I'm going 7 days a week. I'm not having fun. I need to learn from you.
Oh,
lakes,
you know what?
Skateboarding, all
Jack,
that fun stuff.
A friend of mine told me this a long time ago. He says, when you work hard, you earn the right to play hard. So
I missed that part.
Yeah. Well, you'll burn yourself out.
Yeah.
But I definitely believe in working hard.
Yeah. You're doing it.
Yeah. And you know what? And what really brought me back home to Vegas was really not so much as just the trailers, but it's about family. I've got a son in high school. This is his last year in high school. And I just wanted to make sure that I was there to give him his last push into manhood. And so to make sure that he has the tools to be successful.
Good for you. That's awesome.
And so I was like, Lord willing, we always have the opportunity to make money. There's always money that can be made.
You can't get this time back.
You can't get it back, man.
So talk about that for a second, because I don't want to be the only one. I mean, college is great. I'm not knocking it, but I really want to push these kids to trade schools. Like, I feel like right now on AI, in 30 seconds, I can figure out everything I need to know.
Yeah.
But trades are going to be so important. If somebody's listening and they want to push their kid or themselves to be an electrician, what's the first step?
Well, the first step is you got to make sure you got that math skill good. Make sure.
The way you were working numbers earlier, I'm like, you got a calculator?
That's funny. Yeah, you got to have your math game tight. Your kids should be in algebra.
You wouldn't think
geometry.
that math and.
Well, there's a lot of formulas, man, inside in our trades, and so Pythagorean theorem and sine, cosine, tangent, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of calculations. So you want to make sure your kids are taking good math courses, right? I'll tell you a funny story. So, when I was young in high school, I was a jock. I was an athlete, right? It was old Vegas, right? So in old Vegas, man, I could just go up to my teacher, right? And he'd be like, what do you need to play football? I'd be like, Coach, I need a B or a C. And he was just
done?
Yeah, he was just done, right? Because I was a good athlete, And I remember when I got in the apprenticeship, there's an old saying, you can pay now or pay later, right? And so my math was terrible. And so I was like struggling in the apprenticeship my first year. And I went back to my old coach and I was like, Coach, man, I need some help with this math. And he was like, man, come on over. And, and so he tutored me.
He broke it down?
Yeah, he tutored me, got me back up to speed, but, I had the opportunity to do it when I was in school. And but I was just blessed that, that he cared enough about me to spend some time with me and make sure that I had the tools to be successful in math. And, and God bless his soul, he died now, but his name was Coach Heater, man. And
what school was that?
Western High School.
Western, okay.
Yeah. So, but I mean, in those days it was just different. But math is the number one thing. You just got to make sure you have good math skills, good communication skills. That's another thing. And I'm not anti-college. My wife is a college professor at Nevada State College in nursing.
That's awesome.
So I just think if you're going to go to college, the time to figure out when you're going to go to college is like right now while you're in school. You don't want to be trying to figure out what you want to be when you get to college, because if you're trying to figure out what you're going to be when you get to college, you're already behind, right? And you want to choose something that is going to have true value to humanity, right? Something that is going to be tangible. There's a saying that I like to use that says, a man's worth is determined by his ability to be replaced by somebody else. And so, you know, you want to make yourself an immovable fixture. You don't have to be arrogant and be the smartest guy in the room or anything like that, but be a smart guy in the room. Be a person that people can go to and get answers to solve problems, because we're in a society where just because we got AI and all that kind of stuff, there's still a lot of problems that need to be solved. And it's going to take people. It's going to take humans. It's going to take people who care about solving those problems. And it's going to take those young people who don't even know that those problems exist yet. And so I try to teach my son, I'm like, man, listen, you know, I need you to, you know, get your head out of the sand. There's a whole world in front of us that I'm going to be looking at you to help lead us. And we need these kids, man. You know, it's a scary thing when I look at them, they're just staring at their phones all the time, you know. So that was kind of personal to me, why I came back home. I was like, man, this is the last round. I got to be here for my son to make sure he's got the tools to be successful.
Can we get somebody else building these trailers? We need you on stage talking to people.
Man, I do.
That felt like Tony Robbins right there.
You got jokes.
I'm pumped.
You got jokes.
No, that's so important. I mean, you know, again, I was knocking college. I think it's cool, but I feel like as long as you're doing something like you said, that matters afterwards. Because just some of these degrees, I see people trying to buy a house and they have 150, 180,000 student loans.
Oh my God.
And they're doing something completely different than they went to school for. But
well, you know,
that's some great advice.
You're right, man. And I think that unfortunately there were people that sold them a bill of goods, right? And they undermined, you know, electricians and carpenters and plumbers and, you know, people and mechanics, you know what I mean? These were people that built America, you know, and they're still
making a comeback.
And they're still they never went away. It was just a secret. They were making their money in secret, because I know electricians that have been making, you know, $150,000, $200,000 a year every year for years. And now they're making $250,000, $300,000 a year. You know, I know plumbers that have been making great money for years. If you know, Vegas has always been a builder city. You know, some of the most, I mean, we've got a large unions here, a large union presence here in Vegas. And so.
So is there trade schools for kids to go to after high school? Is that kind of the route?
Absolutely.
And then jumping in with the union or?
Yeah, so we have the electrical union, which is the IBW, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. They're actively taking apprentices right now. They usually start taking them.
Is apprentice instead of going to like a trade school? Or
well, it's the same thing. That's the same thing.
Okay.
Same thing. I know the plumbers are teaching people, taking people in. You have the mechanical skills where you're doing air conditioning and vents and elevator operators and crane operators and forklift and backhoe drivers. And there's a lot of work that needs to be done. And we can't just depend on computers to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When people come by a house and they're in these trades and, you know, seeing what they're making and what they're qualifying for, it's pretty cool to see.
Man, it is really cool to see.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's encouraging when I see young people out there putting their shoulder to the wheel.
I like it.
Yeah.
So where can people find information on the, I don't want to say off-grid trailers. What's the proper way to say it?
So it's off-grid. So if you're going to find me online, it's offgridoacsolution.com.
Okay.
Yeah. So off-grid. Just think of it on approved credit, right? So offgridoacsolution.com or off-grid office and construction solutions.
Do we have anything on social media showing you build these things?
Absolutely. I'm putting some things up shortly. We just did this 32-foot build and we documented the whole thing. And so I'm going to put that up here shortly. Because you could
film a little bit.
Yeah, I took some film classes at CSN. I got a little film school knowledge. Yeah. It's fun. Yeah, nothing like this. This is cool.
Is it? Do you have it on social media yet? Like where they can find it, or is that coming?
You can find some video demonstration just on the website.
Okay.
It's not the build, but just kind of how the trailers work and what the purpose for them are. The build is actually going to be coming sooner rather than later. Like I said, I'm in
where
the
are they going to
room
find that?
now. On my Instagram,
Okay.
I'm still working on that. And
do we have a name for it yet or no?
It's just OffGrid Office and Construction Solution.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll look for that. I feel like I got so much smarter sitting next to you.
Jack,
I appreciate you.
You're killing me, man. I think you're probably one of the smartest guys in the room. That's your secret. You just kind of play it down.
No, I mean that math you were breaking down, that was I don't know. I think this whole electrical being electric, I think that's just so incredible. I don't know. I mean, it's just like you do the wrong thing, you can get zapped.
You do the wrong thing, you can get killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not too many professions,
Yeah.
It's pretty dangerous.
It can be. It can be. I've lost friends to this industry. Yeah. So, but you know what? It doesn't matter what you do. Whether you're a police officer, you're a fireman, or nurse, there's risks to anything that's going to create, value.
Yeah.
Right? So, you go out there and sell the wrong property the wrong way, you're going to get sued.
Yeah.
Right? So, anything worth doing is going to have some kind of risk associated with it.
Well, we appreciate your time. Thanks for the information. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jack.